You can't fully give love until you truly know love. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Edward Fairley. There you
Oh, thank you.
I'm giving you a hand clap.
Thank you so much.
I mean, the things I just what just going just reading through it. I've already read through it, but going back reading through it, it was so powerful. Uh, the things that you're doing, you're healing people. Heal that you're basically healing their souls is what it amounts to.
That is definitely the goal. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. Well, I know we have a comment here. This is No Love Podcast. It says, "Hi, I'm Oliver.
That's me.
Mr. Oliver. I'm Edward."
That's me. I was responding back too because I didn't want to leave Mr. Uh Oliver hanging.
Okay, I didn't see the comment.
Oh, he said how? Oh yeah.
Okay, first
Yeah,
Antonio says hi, so
yeah, Antonio.
we're gonna get into the messages to our audience. I don't want to leave him out. Antonio, and then he goes hi. Everybody says hi, Oliver. Oliver, everybody know Oliver. And you see, hi, brother Edward. That's from Antonio. Hi,
Yeah.
Antonio. And then we have Fayette. Fayette is an author also. And she has a
Awesome.
children's book. Fayette. Hi, Fayette. You said me. Fayette. Oh, you wait. Don't worry. And then you said, I enjoy. I'm sorry. Here we go. You said, I love saying no nice and change my. Oh, you're talking about the
That's
book.
awesome. Yeah. Good. Good.
It
Good.
does change your life, by the way, because you know why? You're taking back control of your life. That's what that does.
Hmm.
You're no
Hmm.
longer just doing because people ask. Um, he said, "Hi, Oliver. I'm Edward." And then Elaine
Hmm.
says, "Oh, okay, Elaine." And Elaine is a super fan. Elaine is at every show.
Aw.
Elaine is a super, and she's actually going to be a guest on the show. She helps kids get scholarships for college,
Oh, that's awesome.
isn't it? She says, "Hello, Marion Oliver, and your truly special guest, Edward L. Fairley. Glad to be here and learn even more." Elaine, hi, Elaine.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
She's here. When I tell you, every show is so nice when you have your super fans on. You said hi,
Definitely
I'm
refreshing.
Antonio. I know. Oh, that's you said hi, Antonio. Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
that's me.
So now, tell me. The first question I asked you, I think, is what is love? I think that's what I asked you when we were
Mm.
talking. What is? Let's start with that. What is love? What is it?
Love is an expression to someone else, letting you know, letting them know rather by an action how you feel about them with no expectation of something being reciprocated or in return. It's to show them how you feel about them. That's what love is.
So, is it always a positive?
All love is always a positive, most certainly. It's an expression to positively show someone how you feel about them. Now, the trick of the enemy is to convince us that love is give and take, which sets us up with the assumption of manipulation becoming love. So what I mean by that is, so now because I was taught that love is give and take, I do things with the expectation of receiving something,
Mm-hmm.
and love is now gone. So the epitome of love is God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son.
Right.
There's nothing that we can do to give God back anything for that gesture. And it's an expression that we cannot pay back. That is the epitome of love. Now, when two people do love in a relationship, it happens to look like give and take. So it's easy for you to assume that love is give and take when both people are just giving.
Right.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
it's more, in other words, so it's never what we call 50-50 type thing. And
Mm,
really, there's no expectation, is what you're saying. That when you
no.
give love, you don't expect anything back.
The only expectation is for them to receive the gesture as a loving gesture, not something that gives you something back. It's not a boomerang effect at all. It's more frisbee.
I think, and I really think what just me, my
Yeah,
interpretation, is
yeah.
that you give it, like you said, manipulation, thinking you're getting something back. So that's why you give it, not because it's gonna, not, not looking for nothing back, looking for something to come back.
Yeah. And that's what manipulation is versus what love is. Love is not looking for something back. Now, will you get something back? Oftentimes, most certainly. But you won't be disappointed if you don't get something back if you're not moving in manipulation. And that's the power of
Wow. I'm listening to you because I can think of some instances in my,
Oh
going
yeah,
in
this
my
is why
life.
this is against the grain.
It
Let's
is.
unpack. Talk to me. Yeah.
And I
Yeah. It feels weird.
and it does. You know what is hard though? I'm just going to speak on this situation, and I am showing love to people that literally I they could care less.
Hmm.
And I think it took me a long time to realize it's not what they do, it's what I do. And that, think about that. Because normally, like you said, if I really was dependent on them to show it back to me, I'm not getting that back.
Not at all.
But
Not at
this is
all.
what I've learned too. Two wrongs don't make a right. If I showed them what they were doing, if I did the same thing to them what that they were doing to me, where does it end? That's what I've learned.
More
Where does
more importantly, more importantly, um, you've allowed that person to change the core of you. Forget that where does it end? You've lost yourself.
woo,
Because if you are naturally a giving and kind person, and then you stoop down to the lower level of a person that is like that, you've lost you.
woo.
So I can we can go past the two wrongs don't make a right. You have lost control of who you are, and you've allowed someone to change the value and the core of you. That in itself, I wouldn't want any parts of
That is powerful. I'm just sitting here thinking about situations.
it.
I know I'm supposed to be doing the show. I
Okay,
didn't even do it.
it's not.
It is because I really know I'm living some of these situations that you're talking. I'm living them, and
Yeah,
no matter what, this is what how I think. I'm like I still show kindness and I'm gonna tell you why. What you just said is why, because I don't want to become like that. I don't want
no,
that I call it negative energy. I don't
yeah,
want negative energy on me. I don't want it's hard. Life is hard enough. I don't need negativity. I don't
yeah.
it's just
Listen,
it's very what is that gonna I don't need that kind of energy. So my thing is to and not that and I don't want to say everything is good. I don't
mm,
want to say that everything is going on is good in your life. So you're saying you give love, let me understand this
yeah,
correctly,
yeah, yes,
with
man.
expectation of anything.
No expect. The only thing that I expect or hope rather is that you understand the gesture to be something that I'm giving to you to show and approve your value. So for God to love the world that He gave His most precious thing suggests that you are as precious as that thing that was given. That means, and that precious thing was Him demoted in the human flesh to die just to have a relationship with you. That means you are to die for, literally, literally to die for by the most precious being in the world. To
Wow.
understand that, there's nothing that my wife, my children, my family can do to devalue me or make me feel less than. I am literally to die for by the most precious and most valuable being on this earth that ever lived on this earth and created it.
Wow, wow, wow. This is deep. This is what why do you think think so much relationship advice feels like it's written for robots and not real people?
Because it's just repackaged teachings. So I take pride in saying that I'm not a doctor. And I like how you put yet. I will be receptive to an honorary doctorate, but the going to school to learn to be considered a doctor, I will never do that intentionally. And the reason for that is because in that means of teaching, I am taught what to think, not how to think.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is I'm going to have to take tests that tells me that my answer is right or wrong. So you're telling me what I should be thinking about a philosophy. You are feeding me a philosophy. My teachings
Mhm.
actually show and have proven that the philosophies that have been being taught are what's causing the issues in relationships. So I don't want to be tainted in my imagination or the core of the truth that is in me because I'm told how to think. I will continuously dive into the depth of the scriptures and things that I use as foundational to combat my questioning whether it's just my thoughts or what I consider truth, and then I will go from there. But to go and to be told how to think, I will never do that.
And I'm listening to, because I do have an honorary doctorate. And
Yeah,
the only and
that's
I
fair.
but I don't use it though, and I'm gonna tell you why. Not that I
Yeah,
don't have
that's
respect
fair.
for it. I do have it, and people still call me Dr. Welch anyway. But
Hmm.
I feel that the people I've seen struggle for those 7 years to get that doctorate. I think that's why I haven't used it. Because but then again, like people have been clear with me of nobody gave that to you. You earned it.
Hmm.
You
Exactly.
didn't.
Most
That's
certainly.
yep. And I just haven't used it. But
Nah,
anyway.
I probably would never use it. I would clarify just like I clarified with you. When you were like, I feel like this is wrong. You're a doctor. I've literally had people they just ignore the fact that I say no, I'm not a doctor, and they will continuously call me doctor. They put it on paperwork, and I'm like, I did what I'm supposed to do, and
Yeah.
that is out of respect of me knowing many doctors and knowing the rigorous training and
Yeah.
dedication and work
Yeah.
that they put into receiving that. But again, as you shared, that doesn't take away from my work or my 10,000 hours that I've put into what it is that I've created and
Yeah.
doctors now endorse and use at their own practices. But I will not allow for myself to be told how to think, especially when it comes to this, because it was me unlearning what I was taught by professionals that allowed for me to have a successful marriage.
That's big. That is
Yeah.
truly big.
So,
So I'm just going to ask you, what's the biggest lie we've been sold about love, and who benefits from it?
and that's give and take. We kind of touched on it. It's love is give and take 50-50. That is the biggest lie because it sets you up for expectations. And I'm doing this with the expectation of receiving something in return. And love just does not work that way. And that's where all of and I'm saying that loosely, all of your frustration comes from is because you did something with the expectation of something being given back. Whereas if you come from a place of love, you would only get that as a bonus,
Right.
and you'd be fine. So there is no loss in love. You can either break even or you can get a bonus, but you never lose.
Wow. Wow. I'm just in there listening, going, because I'm thinking of my life and things that
I
are
get it.
either have gone on or are going on or whatever, just incidents. And I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
guarantee you a lot of problems I probably have created were because of my expectations.
Expectation. Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yes.
Wow, wow,
And
wow.
expectations oftentimes is thought. I mean, it's taught. So we're taking expectations, both sides, especially if we're talking about upbringings, culture, things of that nature. When you're taught to have an expectation of this experience because you've done this, now you bring that expectation to the respective relationship, not even considering the fact that they were taught a different expectation, and now you two are fighting for expectations that you never took the time to unpack or learn why, where it came from, and things of that nature.
This is big. I'm just in awe. I'm gonna be honest. Well, let's share it with our audience because, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna tell you. I'll just say, Dr. Fairley, and that's see because of what the things you're saying are so powerful. That's the first thing I thought. I didn't even think of Mister. I was just Dr. Fairley. But
Okay.
not only does he have a book, so I'm gonna have you, if you don't mind, show your book because for
Oh
those that
my,
are
no.
interested, they're gonna see
It's
the book.
called, yeah.
On top of that, it's a simulation. Is that
Yes,
the
ma'am.
it's a
It looks
simulation.
like a board game, but it's a simulation. Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
simulation. It looks like I thought it was, and I'm not gonna. It's a tool, ladies
Yeah.
and
Well
gentlemen.
said. Yeah.
This if you want to get a copy of this, but you have to go to the website to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make sure I get this thing because I don't want to leave without it. And I see comments are just flowing in. I have an audience. I haven't forgot about you.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, we have Fayette. We have, okay, where are we? Antonio, and here we go. And Oliver Welch. Oliver says, executive producer, hi, Mr. Fairley. Welcome to the show, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with the audience.
How are
Thank you,
you, sir?
Oliver. He said, I appreciate him saying, because it means a lot. That tells you when I tell you guys he's watching the show, he's watching the show.
Wow, that's awesome.
Nikki, hi, Nikki. Hi. And she's a super. He said, Edward, that's an interesting perspective. I like it. All
Yeah,
right. Nikki, Nikki is she is a special.
awesome.
She comes back on
That's
the show.
awesome.
I definitely would like for you to come back too, because I know we're not gonna have enough time. He said,
Oh,
"Yeah, we're
okay.
breaking down." Thank you, Nikki, because I this is not gonna be enough time. I'm telling you, I'm just listening to you going, "Wow." No, seriously, this. See, I'm not just listening. I'm applying it to my life. That's
No,
what
most certainly.
I'm listening for. My application of how I can be a better wife, be a better mother.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll say this: expectations for my own children, for my
Yeah. Oh,
own
yeah.
children. so, so see how this is not about just being a wife. This is being a mother. It's being a
Exactly right.
so.
Love leads over to everything. There's absolutely nothing that love does not fit into. And that's why my teachings, oftentimes, even my clients, I have people that hire me as clients and they're not looking to be married, but they know that these tools will assist in their professional careers and things of that nature. We're talking about communication. We're talking about forgiveness. We're talking about identifying uh, just things that trigger you and where they come from to allow for you to better maneuver and shift your perspective. So, yeah, love just is.
Wow, 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 wow. Well, okay. You say people are puzzles. What's the first piece someone needs to understand before they try to figure out anyone else?
Oh, that's good. Um, that there's no you will never find a person that is similar to another person or puzzle rather. So the first piece is to realize that that puzzle is an individual.
Okay.
It's not, it is not generalized. It's not similar to, do not use this. Don't try to create a metaphor when it comes to another puzzle. Accept that puzzle as it is in its true essence of its individuality.
Hmm. As it is, basically. You're saying
As it is, most certainly.
because every single one of us, there's no two alike, no matter what.
That's correct. So all right, so we're created in the image of God
Correct.
and God is like no one else. Then you cannot make me like someone else. I am
Correct.
an individual. And with that being said, the only way that you can successfully have a relationship with me is if you treat me as such. So to look at people as individuals, that will force you to submit to being a student of that person as opposed to generalizing or compartmentalizing this person as, oh, this is like this and trying to figure them out. We try to find the easiest way to do something. But if I look at you as an individual, I'm going to try to learn everything about you. Why do you think like that? Why do you do this? Why do you say this? What makes you laugh at that? Where as opposed to assuming that because you are a woman, you think this way. Because you are a Gemini, you think this way. Because you are such and such, you think this way. Because the things that we think we know are the things we don't discuss, nor do we seek to learn and understand.
That's
So
true.
that's what prevents us from having effective communication. So if I look at everything as an individual, every person as an individual, I by default become a student and then learn what it is that I need to know about them to accommodate them and better respond to them.
I see why you said your people that come and in their business situation, business people, because they realize that that business is about relationship.
That's
That's
exactly.
right. Because if you don't have a good relationship with people, you're not going to be in business long. That's just
If you
how
don't
it.
have a good relationship with yourself,
Yeah,
you won't have a good business long.
it's
And
true.
most people don't have a good relationship with themselves. And they're
Wow.
trying to validate themselves through relationships without yet finding themselves first.
Woo. I'm just every time you say something, it's like it's sticking to me. I'm like, wow. No, but I would tell you, it's wow. Anyway, We're gonna go on because I see a couple of comments. So I see that. Oh, you said Nikki said she needs a private consult, whatever. All right, I'm telling you, Nikki, I'm sitting up here trying to. My mind is just spinning. It is spinning of how many things have I done and didn't even know I was doing them. Didn't even wasn't even aware of them. That
Yeah,
I'm sure misunderstandings have happened.
most
Uh,
certainly.
all of that. That I'm listening to you now, thinking it could have been prevented,
Most
but
certainly.
didn't
Most
have
certainly.
I
Yeah.
didn't have the tools, and I already know it is. I don't have to even guess. I already know that there were things I probably said or did unknowingly and caused friction and caused problems.
Mm,
It wasn't. It was never. Even though this is what I'm learning too. Though it wasn't my intent, doesn't mean I did not.
mm. Well said. Well said. That is a very. Say that again, please. People need
Even
to hear
though
that.
it wasn't my intent, but we do it unintentionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you? And then a lot of this is so much that's learned from childhood. It has
Oh
nothing.
yeah.
So how do
Yeah.
we? I'm just like, wow. I'm just sitting here going, how do you make it better?
Well, that is where I come into play. That's why. So if you think about it, and I'm loving this exchange because you're literally experiencing the no love experience. It is a mirror. You and I. So you are the only person you've never seen. You you have to trust the reflection of what you've seen of you, but you've never seen you. You have to trust a mirror. You have to trust a phone, a selfie, someone's picture. You have never seen you. This is why it's very easy for us to be able to say what our friends need to do to resolve their issues. We can fix other people's problems because we see them, but we don't see ourselves. We don't pay attention to what we do, how we maneuver until now. No love, the simulation forces you to have an experience that takes you out of your body and sees yourself so that you can now identify, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing this by mistake. I didn't realize that this was influencing my way of maneuvering and thinking. And now, because you see yourself, you
Right.
can correct yourself. And because it's an experience, not just theory, you
Mm-hmm.
literally feel like, oh my gosh, I just got cheated on, or oh my gosh, I just had a divorce, or oh my gosh, I cheated on someone else. All of these things, there's no stone unturned in this simulation. You can pay for counseling to avoid divorce. You break up, you have children, you lose your job. There's everything in there, and you see yourself, and it feels like in that short hour or 90 minutes that you've had all of these experiences that takes people 5 to 10 years to have. And we all know that experience is the best teacher is probably not the one you want to take.
Right.
But having that experience and feeling that ouch, that pain that comes as a result of the experience, you get the takeaway that allows for you to change.
Wow. 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 Just like, oh my goodness. Oh, this is like wow. Well, I know too because audience, we do have a second speaker coming on today, so I want to make sure that what is what can you help our audience with? Well, first of all, before we do that, what is your website for those that are interested in your books? The book is on Amazon, but your simulation is on your website.
That is accurate. Yes. So noloveinc.com is my website. That's KNOW Love Inc. INC.com. So noloveinc.com is my website where you can receive the simulation. Matter of fact, just because I'm loving how you have indirectly blessed the the concept and the fact that the whole concept is a mirror. Those who are listening, if it's in the month of June, I'm not sure when you'll hear it. If you type in Juneteenth, when it comes to paying, it will take 49% off the simulation for your viewers.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? I'm writing
If
it
you
down.
So for the code, if you type in Juneteenth, it has to be in the month of June. If you type in Juneteenth when it asks for like promo code,
Mm-hmm.
If you type that in, it will take 49% off of the simulation.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a comment by Elaine. Elaine says, "Oh my God. God has put me in two places in the last 2 days to hear and discuss quote unquote love. This
Mm,
has not been by accident because God makes no
mm,
mistake. I'm definitely listening and absorbing, Edward. Thank
amen.
you."
I receive.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
that's, you know what that, there's like all of us. I know what you mean. Like, I'm just listening to this and like going more wowie than I am anything because I feel like it's what I need to hear. I need to.
Mm,
I think sometimes like this is my. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, Edward, that I show love, and when you don't, not that it shouldn't. Not that it should be reciprocal, but then people are just literally disrespectful, and it feels like, well, maybe I shouldn't be showing love. This is how they're treating me. That's what. But then what you're saying is, don't let that affect you, no matter what they do.
most certainly. That change. That means you've been changed. That wasn't who you were. And uh, to be loving doesn't mean you have to sit and be in an environment where you're being disrespected. Actually, that would suggest that you don't love yourself. And so it's the tit for tat. I can move myself from an environment of people that are disrespectful, but to
Right.
stay there suggests that you are receptive and accepting the disrespect. I would never do
Right. All right, Nikki says, I love it. Come on, Nikki. That's what I know. But I know we have about 4 minutes left. So what can you give us to take with us today that would be a tool? Um, I know, like you said, the simulation with the 40, thank you for that percentage off, the 49%. I can
that.
tell
Yes,
you
man.
now that we will be ordering it. Oliver and I are going to go through this. We've been married 20 years. You told me you and your wife been married over 20 years
20.
also.
Yes, ma'am.
And at the same time, unfortunately, I actually know four people going through divorces. Four.
Mm, that's
Four
unfortunate.
African American couples. It's just it hurts to know
Yeah,
that. And at the
most
same,
certainly.
I know them personally, and that's what hurts too. And
Hmm.
sometimes this is my take on it. Sometimes I think divorce is contagious. I think it's contagious.
Mm. Well,
And
that I mean that's only suggestive of birds of a feather. So
right,
yeah, if you're around it, it definitely could jump on you, especially
it
if you're
is.
picking sides and trying
Yeah.
to make their issues yours. Most certainly, it could definitely happen.
I actually was going to write a book about is divorce contagious, and a friend of mine said, "Have you been divorced?" I'm like, "No." He said, "How can you write that book?" But this is what I had to learn. You know, people write books about stuff they you may know about it, but you didn't
Yeah,
have to experience it to write the book. That's what
yeah, most certainly. So I
I
mean,
learned.
basically, what they're saying, like, I can write things. I say it like this: some things they're on you, but they're not in you. I have a lot of evangelists that
Mm-hmm.
what I teach is on them. They can talk to you about it and they can
Mm-hmm.
articulate it, but when they're going through it, they're not using it because it's not in them. It's
Right.
it's something that they can. It's in their headspace. It's not in the core of them. So I definitely get it. As far as the takeaway,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing that I typically find that my customers they share and realize is their relationships and who their spouses are and their contributions, they don't change, but the relationship changed because their perspective did. And you've gotten a sample of that in this exchange. When you
Yes.
get to an awareness, that's why my company is called No Love. It's not no marriage, it's not no relationship, it's no love. When you get to this place of awareness of knowing and understanding love, the snares or traps that typically come that destroy love, you can see them from a mile away and they're a joke to you. And you know how to navigate and maneuver through them. So it's really a shift of your perspective and really understanding and identifying love. And we spent most of this time unpacking manipulation versus love. So if you
Mm-hmm.
start working on that and checking your motive, well, why am I doing that? You'll be that in itself is powerful enough for you to see a change and a shift. Because when I'm doing something and what you do or don't do does not impact me, that's a superpower. We think love is a weakness. I'm liberated of people. I'm not. People can't manipulate me or I do what it is that I honestly want and love to do.
Right.
Never what people manipulate. or put a carrot in front of me to do. Doesn't work.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you for coming today, and please come back. Please
Oh,
come.
I'll be glad. You asked me to be here. I'm gonna be
Okay, because I'm sitting here, and we barely touched the surface. That's why I'm like, if you could come, I would love for you to come back again because there's so much to this. It's not, and we are
here.
definitely, as I said before, and I hope you two, ladies and gentlemen, please order the simulation. We are going to order it. There's, you can never learn too much. You can never know about
Mm,
music. I agree with you. You can't see yourself, and like you said, when you see your friends and family, you can see everything. But and then when they try to say something, oh no, I don't need any help with that. Of course, you're gonna have, we got nothing to say. We perfect, even though there's no such thing as perfection. Look,
exactly. That's right. That's right.
but I like to thank you again. Please come back again,
Thank you
please.
for having me. Please, I'll be here. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. Thank you so much.